The Lord be with you.
And with your spirit.
Reading from the Holy Gospel according to Matthew.
Glory to you, Lord.
When Jesus was born in Bethlehem of Judea in the days of King Herod, behold, Magi from the east arrived in Jerusalem, saying, "Where is the newborn King of the Jews? We saw his star at its rising and have come to do him homage." When King Herod heard this, he was greatly troubled, and all of Jerusalem with him. Assembling the chief priests and the scribes of the people, he inquired of them where the Christ was to be born. They said to him, "In Bethlehem of Judea, for thus it has been written through the prophet, and you, Bethlehem, land of Judea, are by no means least among the rulers of Judea, since from you shall come a ruler who is to shepherd my people Israel." Then Herod called the Magi secretly and ascertained from them the time of the star's appearance. He sent them to Bethlehem and said, "Go and search diligently for the child. When you have found him, bring me word, that I too may go and do him homage." After their audience with the king, they set out, and behold, the star that they had seen at its rising preceded them until it came and stopped over the place where the child was. They were overjoyed at seeing the star, and on entering the house, they saw the child with Mary, his mother. They prostrated themselves and did him homage. Then they opened their treasures and offered him gifts of gold, frankincense, and myrrh. And having been warned in a dream not to return to Herod, they departed for their country by another way. The Gospel of the Lord.
Praise to you, Lord Jesus Christ.
I was blowing down 90 this morning, bright and early. I was running a little behind because my trustworthy Maverick store wasn't open and they didn't make me a burrito. So I had to bust over off of 59, get a burrito, and then hit the road. So I'm flying, heading to Hewlett, daybreak. And I see off in the distance, this bright light. I'm okay, that's got to be a plane or something. I'm just watching, it's not moving. I don't know if you saw that or not, but that thing was the morning star. And it was in the east, and I was following it, and it was a unique sight. And I'm okay, that's a neat bright star. And I'm nobody's probably up this morning. A few people are heading east. I guess that's meant for me. So I just, all right, Lord, what's going on here? And I followed, I'm just, driving. And it did kind of line up with Moorcroft. And then I peace out and head east. And it just kind of sat here. And I saw it a time or two. But I'm okay, what's going on there? That's beautiful. The Magi followed a star as well. And where did it lead them? To Jesus. Where did that star settle and lead us? To Jesus here at Mass, right? We got this opportunity to encounter Jesus every time we go to Mass, just like the Magi did at that first birth of Jesus. It was a really beautiful little insight for me, a little gift from the Lord that I share with you today. And it works too because I guess what strikes me in this Epiphany Sunday is the word homage. As I'm reading the gospel, I'm sure the Magi came and did the Lord homage. Herod wanted to do the Lord homage. And I got a little bit of a problem with the word homage. So I'm just it doesn't seem quite adequate. So I went back and I checked the Greek. Now, I took a year of Greek in seminary. And after that year, the professor came to me and said, "I don't think you should take another year." But I did learn enough to download the app on my phone and go and see what that word actually meant in the Greek, which the Gospels are written in Greek. Okay, the literal word, translation of that word, which I can't even pronounce, I couldn't even read it in the Greek. The literal translation of that word that's used for homage here is worship. Now, I think that's more fitting I mean, not knocking the translation, whatever, but I think giving the Lord worship is a more fitting word for what the Magi did. Homage just falls short, at least in my current wave of thinking. To me, homage is a tip of the hat. That's not adequate, right? Worship is laying down our lives. That's what I think we're called to. That's what the Magi did. Listen to what it says they did. When they found Jesus with Mary, his mother, it said, they prostrated themselves. They laid themselves down and offered him gifts of gold, frankincense, and myrrh. Right? They laid down their lives for Jesus. That's way more than a tip of the hat. Homage. Whatever. You kind of get my point. But I guess my gut check for my life, and I think for all of us, do I give the Lord homage or do I worship him? Right? That's a key distinction in our lives. Is he number one or is he just one of many? So I think here at Mass, it's so fitting what we do with our bodies in the sense. What do we do at the time of the celebration of the Eucharist? We kneel down. We prostrate ourselves physically. But do we do that, internally? Do we lay down our lives for Jesus internally? The Mass has it all built in. Okay, so the Magi gave the Lord gifts of gold, frankincense, and myrrh. Not a lot of us are running around with a lot of gold and frankincense and myrrh in our pocket, right? So what do we give the Lord? I don't know, the old standard kind of stewardship plug, which St. Paul speaks of the stewardship of God's grace today, is time, treasure, and talent, right? And those are three big ones. Do we worship the Lord with our time, treasure, and talent, or do we just tip our hat at him, right? And I think a way of kind of maybe drawing this out a little bit more is, do I use my time, treasure, and talent for the kingdom of God or for my own kingdom, right? Herod wanted to use his time, treasure, and talent for the building of his kingdom, King Herod, right? We ride for the kingdom of God. And that's how we use all those gifts that he's given us for his greater glory. Does it behoove us as well? Yep. That's the great exchange. That's when our priorities are properly ordered, everyone wins. So here in the Mass, we bring our time, treasure, and talent, all our entire lives at the offering, right? We lay on the patent in a form of bread our entire lives. Everything. The good, bad, ugly, indifferent, everything. That's prostrating ourselves before the Lord. That's worshiping the Lord, okay? So we give it all to him, and then what does he do? He gives it all back in communion. And then we use that out in the world for the building up of his kingdom, not our own. But each Sunday, we give it all to him, and then he entrusts us back to us and inspires us how to use it. That's unique for everybody. But I guess the gut check today, hey, first of all, do I ride for the kingdom of God or do I ride for my own kingdom? Do I do the Lord simple homage, tip of the hat, or do I lay my life down and worship him like the Magi do today? It's all built into the Mass. So keep that in mind today when we get to that point. Lord, I'm laying down my life for you. And then he gives it back and inspires us how to use it for his greater glory, which in turn benefits us as well. So it all works out. This beginning of the new year, let's get our priorities straight. Let's not do the Lord's simple homage, but let's lay down our lives in true and authentic worship of him.